At this point, he really needs no introduction, but I guess I'll give him one anyways. Idubbbz is, well, he's having an interesting 2025. At the beginning of the year, I contemplated about his future, considering his content has really fallen off. His golden age is like long gone. It's kind of clear he's no longer the guy he was. Um, really, it's kind of like at this point almost redundant to talk about how far he's just fallen in terms of everything, but he really just did his final burial in April when he decided to make a really bad content cop video that was just not good, not interesting, not funny, and also backstabbing his friend of almost a decade because he got mad at him because he didn't defend him when people started having CPS and schools sent to him. So, obviously Idubbbz is just kind of reprehensible, and at this point, any sympathy I would have had for him like a year ago is completely gone. But that being said, it turns out he is still capable of sometimes grabbing attention and kind of getting on people's radars with some of his new content, though never for a good reason, it seems, because it seems that, especially since his content cop, when he officially aligned himself with Hassan Piker, a streamer who, even though Hassan is big, Idubbbz back in his golden age, and even in 2019 and 2020 was miles ahead of. Um, he's kind of made it clear he's trying to become a bread tuber now because that's what every single famous person does when they when they fall off. It seems they decide, let me just make a really bad political commentary, and that's what Idubbbz is doing now. He started this off with a video about concern trolling and was kind of this year doing this, and even at the end of last year with videos talking about abortion and stuff like Your Body, My Choice and trans athletes. And of course, this is content which some people could actually do really well. In fact, there are YouTubers who do it quite well. Idubbbz, on the other hand, is not super experienced and knowledgeable on this, and also his charisma is not at all where it used to be anymore. So it's typically bad. And without further ado, that brings us to his most recent video, Are You Scared of Immigrants? In which, well, he does a video. Okay, look, here's the thing about this. I agree, generally speaking, that a lot of anti immigrant sentiment is pretty stupid. So, on one hand, I agree with Idubbbz, but on the other hand, this video sucks. Like, it really sucks, and I wonder, I wonder, I wonder if he's like knowledgeable about, how relations between immigrants and citizens work. He's trying to be a bread tuber so badly. That's his new stick now. He's trying to do commentary where he makes fun of people and, takes dunks at them. But here's the problem. In this video, he specifically bases his information on TikTokers who are just perpetuating anti-immigration sentiment and talking about how, oh, because there's brown people here, they're ruining the quality of the country. Okay, so as bad as those people are, why is he's focusing on TikTokers and influencers and what they're saying instead of what could actually be a good video if he was well researched on this and took the time to make a video like this. uh he could show polling information, he could show on the ground interview coverage, he could talk about historical metrics, he could have a good time doing commentary on it. In fact, there's good political commentators who do this. And one example of this is, I think, when it comes to Vosh, and there's a lot wrong with Vosh in my opinion, but I think Vosh does a really good job at, taking jabs at people who are anti-protected groups, and he does a really good job at debunking narratives and like challenging those norms. And if you want to go beyond just like YouTubers or political streamers, um John Oliver has also made countless videos about this. Well, he's done episodes on his TV show about this. Really good show, by the way. I recommend John Oliver if you want political commentary with humor, and of course Jon Stewart, who I'll soon be making a video on. So that's on the way. But when Idubbbz talks about immigrants and how people relate to immigrants and how people hate immigrants, he solely focuses on these extreme TikTokers who are going to be saying these stupid things for clout because of course it's going to drive attention, number one. And also his commentary is just so basic. See, on one hand, he's solely focusing on a lazy grab of just prioritizing what TikTokers think about immigrants, what some rando influencers think about immigrants. And on top of that, he's not offering any unique takes. But furthermore, when he's trying to dunk on these people, outside of oh you're just racist, you hate them, okay, that's so funny, Idubbbz, you're so great at this, you're so wonderful at this, I wasn't aware of that, I couldn't have made that joke. And it's just I don't know, this is that's basically what the video is. There's nothing in this video that's going to, for one, it's not going to sway anybody who hates immigrants, mainly especially for my dubs, based on the reputation he's built, but it really doesn't even add on to the conversation in a productive way. Like, it's not unique. It's kind of like complaining about immigrants is such a common thing now, and he just it seems like he just picked this out of like a bucket of like golf balls, or like balls that he put in like this bucket and he shook it and he said, "Oh, okay, okay. What am I going to talk about today?" And he pulled it out and said, "Okay, immigration. Let's talk about that." And he just gives the most basic bland takes on these things. And then his humor isn't good. He sounds just I don't know, he's fallen off so hard. It's kind of saddening to see. It's and I would feel sad, and I used to kind of feel bad for him because I did want the best for him, and I could feel for him at a time before it turns out that he was willing to backstab his best friend for a chance at relevancy again. And by the way, the way his videos are performing recently, his channel just dipped under 7 million subscribers. So it really does seem like at this point he's just desperately trying to become a bread tuber when A, breadtube is not even as big as it used to be, and B, he doesn't really have anything interesting to add to the conversation. It's just kind of sad, honestly. And it sucks, but I don't know. It really does seem like Idubbbz at this point has really just torched his entire credibility. He's burned a lot of his bridges, and he's lost his house as well, and he's lost his charity event, and he's lost so much. And of course it's all Ethan Klein's fault. Of course, it's all Ethan and Neela because they criticized him for for not defending them against people they were friends with perpetuating lies that got skulls sent to his house, well, his office, but and then got CPS sent to his mansion. It's yeah, it's hard to feel bad for him at this point. It's just this kind of content, seeing him do this, it's just wow. It's crazy how far you can fall off. Just a few years ago, he seemed so untouchable. He was the guy that ended careers, and now he's the guy who records the shittiest political takes from a basement and is losing tens of thousands of subscribers weekly. So I guess that's the fate he relegated himself to. Just kind of wanted to rant about that.